All right, ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right, so we are out in the workshop today.
Yep.
Workshop, you see up there. We're going to shoot an episode on question and answer.
Yep, we're getting a lot of Q&As in all the comments, so we figured we'd just, respond to them all. And yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into a couple questions here. So I'll take this first one. Brooke Ingalls, Nowhere Land. So I've seen that dude's stuff on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing that too.
Yeah, for sure. So loving the content. You guys always put out the heat. Curious if you all ever submit sketches to clients, or do you find it better to go straight to digital concepts? We do a lot of straight to digital, especially for branding and logos. I prefer that, showing the client like basically a digital comp as opposed to sketches. Davey will do some sketches, Brandon, those guys. But to me, I've had trouble showing a client a sketch, whether it's a logo or, it's different for illustration. I was going to say,
it definitely depends on both, or what direction of the project is going or whatever.
If it's an apparel, if it's an illustration, sketch for sure.
There's nothing worse than showing a sketch and then they approve it and you do the vector and it's worse than the sketch. That's bad. So I think when we show sketches, it's just a random case where it's either going to be Brandon or Damaso, and you turn in the sketch something highly rendered, where maybe Davey, his sketches are for himself and internal, and he'll show us a couple concepts and we'll pick one and he'll run with it. But I think it's like half and half. The other half, maybe Jordan and I, Dave and Frankie, we're going to probably just get straight to it in Illustrator. And maybe we're doing some quick sketches in Illustrator, but it's even not so much a sketch as it is just playing with ideas and
layout.
Exactly. Stuff like that. How, drag some ascenders around and see what you're going to do with letters. And personally, I'm not sketching too much. It might be very, very rough thumbnail sketches, but
it depends the client too. If they've been through the design process before and they know like how a sketch can get turned into a final piece and see that process in their head without having to, connect all the dots, then that goes a ways. Like sometimes you show them a little cruddy sketch, but it's just the concept and you get that. You don't need the full realized concept right away.
Yeah, whereas Brandon's pieces are, in my opinion, they're damn near final when he shows those sketches.
For sure.
So the client knows what they're getting, right away. So
and like to Jordan's point, if it's like a startup company, and it's say a coffee shop or a restaurant, and they're just starting and they've never hired a designer to do a logo, like I would not show them a sketch. Like they're not going to totally understand that. And like you said, a lot of times the sketch in that vector look pretty different.
Oh yeah.
Like we've had some sketches at the old studio that looked amazing.
Yeah.
And you take it to vector and it's like, oh man, that sketch looked way better.
Lost a little something in translation.
Yeah, I'd almost not want to see the sketch, because if I just saw the vector, it's an 8 out of 10. But then when I saw the sketch, it was a 10 out of 10, and now the vector is like a 7 or 6. So it's like, it depends. If you're good, show the sketch.
Yeah.
If you're not good, maybe don't show it.
Show the sketch. Yeah. Take it right to vector.
Yeah. But like sketching for yourself is different. I'm not an illustrator. I sketch for myself very, very loosely and quickly, and then get to it. But no one's seeing that. I'm not even showing Dan really.
Yeah. So long answer to that, but Hope that helps.
Yep.
The next one is from OMS 2020. I got a question, guys. How long you spend on one design before jumping to the next? You guys seem to churn out 5, 10, 20 designs for a project each. That's insane. I feel like I could spend a whole week on one design alone. When do you know when it's done or finished? Is it a matter of if it's good enough, then move on to the next idea? Cheers from Scotland.
Nice.
That's a great question too.
That is a really good question.
Yeah.
And that is a hard one to answer because it's different every single time. At least for me, in the project, or the deadline could play into all that. So
yeah, I would say the one design a week for the one design, not
going to cut it.
Yeah, not going to. No, in the real world and kind of client demands and things like that, that's usually not going to be the case. I think you guys typically seem to spend 8 to 16 hours on 2 or 3. Like if we're talking branding and logos,
yeah,
like you guys are usually like in 8 hours 2 logo comps.
Yep.
16 hours, like 4. You
Yep.
know, like 2 days.
Yep.
And it helps, though. That time frame helps. It may be scary when we get it, but just having that kind of fire on the ass, you know, you just got to crank it, you know. So it's, and then at the end of the time, you end up having something pretty decent. And I'll surprise myself a lot of the times, like, oh, I didn't think it was possible, and here it is. It's good, you know. I think you could nitpick designs and work them indefinitely. So
Yeah, to death, you know, almost.
it's almost done when the time's up, versus when, because, you know, you could say an illustration or a design is never done. You could work it forever, you know. So
Yeah. Dustin and I a lot of times do like a work back schedule. So for example, we get the date that is due, and then we say, okay, how many pieces do we need to fit? And then we just cut up that time into, okay, this amount of time gives me 2 pieces, this amount of time is 4 pieces, you know, and we just divide it like that. So you get a easier understanding of what's expected and what you need to do along the way, instead of being like, work. Oh shit, now I need to get another piece. And you just kind of have yourself a plan to move forward.
Yeah.
set those time frames, you know. So if we're gonna do 2 in a day, we start at 8. So by noon, that thing needs to be done. You know, after lunch, by 5, I need my second one done, and it'll make you just really push and crank. You know, put your headphones on, get a good song, sit at the edge of your seat, and just hit it.
And that's where, you know, if you're doing freelance and you're at home doing freelance, and say you get a project, and you know the client gives you a week to do it, you have no other work. I would encourage, still set that 2-day mark and work on it 2 days straight. Stop, see where you're at, and then maybe send that to the client. Even though you still have 3 more days till the due date, you know what? Send it early, and then move on to marketing yourself to something else as the client's looking at it. Just because you have 5 days to do that logo, I don't know that I'd spend all 5 days.
Right.
You know.
And another interesting thing too that I found
That's 40 hours. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to break down into hours. Like
Totally.
that's 40 hours on, say, you know.
That's like spending your full paycheck. You know, you get all of it and you don't save any of it. It's
Right.
like, come on, guys, you got to be smart about how you're spending your time.
Exactly.
But also, another little trick is that if you say you have a week to do the project and the client's expecting it on a Friday and you get it done on a Wednesday, you know, take a break from it, go do something else, and come back and maybe look at your work with a new, fresh set of eyes, because that goes so far for me, you know, to separate myself and then come back, because I might have some new ideas and stuff like that.
I was just going to say that fresh eyes is key. You know, it's like if we got 2 days for a project, you know, I'm cranking on something, you kind of get visually numb to it. So I come back the second day, and then you see either things that you did good or didn't do good. You know, you're like, oh, that little thing is great. Oh, shoot, I really need to fix this.
Yep.
So yeah, fresh eyes is always good. You know, for your hour lunch break, get off the computer, stare at something else, so you can come back at least for that second half of the day with some fresh eyes.
So, Dusty, you want to get this one? Can you read that from here?
I need my glasses. Episode 3, pattern shirts. Episode 4, red beanie, red trucker hat. Episode 5, black beanie, black trucker hat. Episode 6, white beanie, white trucker hat. Matching outfits. Cool. Haha. Love the videos. Well,
Shit, if you'd have wore a white hat.
Jordan blew it.
I messed it up. It's gray though.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like, oh shoot,
We don't.
that happened for a while and without planning.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah,
without
we weren't doing none of that.
without us even noticing until this actually comment. I think he called it out or
Yep.
whatever, and was like, "Hey, someone's calling out that we're wearing the same shit."
That would be suspect if we were planning our outfits for this podcast.
for sure. That was not planned, because we did I had the red hat, you had the red beanie.
Yep.
When we did the Bourbon Lore one, you know,
Yep.
at the bar, and I
That's
was
right.
like, I didn't even know.
How does it keep happening? Like what?
But we all also wear tons of Lincoln products, so it's bound to happen.
right.
You know.
Would like to see a day in the life of Lincoln Design, showcasing the design process. Would also like to see what design tools and programs each designer prefers to use when designing. Great work as usual. So we've talked about kind of doing almost like a desk, kind of a day in the life at everybody's desk, you know, where Will, kind of shoots an over the shoulder of you guys doing a little bit of work, kind of showing what you use, computer, tablet, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that's coming. That's kind of in the works. It's on the list of videos to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, because like myself, I'm like primarily Illustrator, a little bit of Photoshop when need be, where let's say Damaso is Clip Studio Pro on the iPad, you know, and then maybe Jordan is Procreate and Illustrator. So we all kind of have a different little workflow process.
Yeah.
I mean, and shoot, Frankie in Cinema 4D, After Effects, you know, all that stuff. So we all definitely kind of have our own little, you know, workflow processes, but none of them are right or wrong. It's just kind of like, you know, can you get this shit done by whatever time today, and use whatever program you want. you know, use paint if you need to. So,
Yeah.
but as far as, I don't want to show my tricks and tips. You know what I mean? That's top secret. You know,
Right.
I have to charge y'all for that.
Yeah, we'll see about that one.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be a good one to do, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get a lot out of seeing Damaso do
Oh yeah.
some of his shit completely on the iPad.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like,
Imagine seeing just like a short little
Time lapse.
Yeah.
of the animation.
Oh yeah.
Of him doing a frame by frame
Oh, yeah.
cell
That'd be
style
sick. Yep.
animation.
Yeah.
Where with Damaso, there's no, you know,
You're not
tricks.
gonna get any tricks though. That's the
It's
thing.
just
you know?
raw
Yeah.
skill.
I guess
you
you
know.
might see his brush settings or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever that might be. But
Yeah.
from what he's doing, he's just drawing it out.
Yeah. It's skill that
Yep.
you know, has evolved over the last,
Yeah.
you know,
30
whatever,
years,
30 years.
30
Yeah.
time building that up.
Yeah.
Blake Spiegel. Hey guys, Blake Spiegel here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hey, what's up, Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Loving the episodes. I have a question for you about onboarding new clients. One thing that makes Lincoln stand out is not only the great work, but it just so happens that your clients have a great mission. Is that just coincidence, or do you have a list of requirements that your clients have to meet? Are there any red flags that tell you someone won't be a good fit? How do you weed through the inquiries, find the balance of quality clients and people that are willing to pay for good work? That's an awesome question.
Whew, yeah.
Like the red flags, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. The red flags. So yeah, you know, that's,
Once you're talking to the client, I feel like you'll kind of know if they've been through this process before. If they're if they send you their logo, that's a PNG logo, but the checker background is like merged with it, you know, red flag already, and you're going to probably have some
The
issues
JPEG
going
and-
forward, you know? So I feel like, you know, within that first 20 minutes of talking with them, you're going to know, have they done this before, or are they open to ideas, or they just want some funky stuff, you know?
yeah. And payment is a big deal, as far as if they're not willing, like if they can't make that first payment, you know, or if their idea is, hey, the check's in the mail, can you get started? Can we see something? No, you can't,
Yeah.
because the check will probably never show up.
Yeah.
You know, showing designs before there's any commitment from them, you know, financially, like never works.
Yeah.
Like they have no skin in the game at that point, and it's very easy to be like, nah, I don't really like it.
Right.
You know, where if you can get that payment up front, I feel like then they're committed. So it's those clients that are like, well, you know, is there any way you could start it now? I'll get the check in the mail, or the check's in the mail. Can we get rolling? And, you know, for the most part, I'm like, cool. You know, as soon as the check gets here, then we'll map out the timeline to see those first comps,
Yep.
and we'll start from there, you know? So,
Totally.
I mean, nowadays, most things are paid online anyway, so there's really no reason
Quicker.
for,
Yeah.
hey, if you want to start it today,
Pay up.
pay the invoice online, you know? So,
And, you know, if they've been through this kind of before, they probably paid for a website that is much more expensive than this logo, let's say. So it's like they should kind of know what's coming down the pipe. So when you tell them whatever number, they shouldn't be, you know, scared. They should have been through this. They should have bought in some sort of merchandise. I mean, they have to invest in themselves to you know, win and get a good logo. So
Some things that we deal with at Lincoln is that we might have a project that was already started by another agency or another designer, where we're coming in to be the second agency to kind of help take it to the next level or finish that off or do something better, ideally, hopefully.
over, you know.
Start over, whatever it might be. But sometimes that's a red flag when you get handed all the work that was done with another designer, and you're kind of wondering what went sour, or how did that relationship go wrong, and how come they're coming to us now, or whatever. So you kind of try to figure out those waters and navigate them the right way. But
and are they going to leave us? And are they going to show the next, you know, designer are what we did? And, you know,
yeah, especially like we've had that happen a few different times, and I always ask for, hey, I'd like to see what they did for you, you know, because if what they did looks great,
Yeah.
or you know, pretty damn good,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay,
Big red flag.
yeah, huge red
Yeah.
flag. What they did was decent, and you don't like it.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do isn't gonna be like total rocket science, you know. It's not gonna be that much different. So I think you're the problem.
Yep.
You know, you're not gonna be happy with what we do either. So
exactly.
I mean, and even the client just needs to come with an idea, and they kind of need to have something that they want, where if they come and said, you guys do what you want, you know, it's like so subjective, and that's just looking for, you know, a rough ride, you know, because let's say I love blue and they love red. It's all so subjective. Like maybe they want left-hand drawing, or maybe they want a Damaso level drawing. It's like, it's just too subjective. So they need to have a direction at least, you know,
Totally.
to make it not rough.
When they say, you do your style, you guys do your
Yeah.
thing, that's kind of a red flag for sure. When
Yeah.
we're like, oh, wait, we've got 100 styles.
We have every style,
Well,
yeah.
Which one? Like,
Definitely. All right, going on to the next one. About millions. You guys should put together an illustration course.
I would love to get us some courses going
Yeah.
based off of maybe 4 or 5 of our strongest skill sets.
Yeah, those things, something like that will take, that's a lot more work, a lot of time, a lot of investment on our end to
Yep.
put something like that together.
Totally.
I don't know if that's going to be just like a free, video to watch. It might be a little bit more in depth,
Yep.
so
It might be like Skillshare-esque.
yeah. So we're kind of working on and trying to figure out, how we want to do that. So
and I think there's different levels to it too. I think we had recorded Damaso or Brandon's just a screen capture of one of his illustration processes, which might be on the lower end of the spectrum of in terms
sure.
of what you learn and stuff, but you totally get a lot of value out of that watching them go to it.
definitely with
Yeah.
brushes and
I was going to say, if there's any services you guys want us to make courses on, pop it in the comments. I mean, we kind of have an idea as far as like, let's say logo, a badge, a pattern, an illustration. But if there's anything different that, you guys are thinking about, pop it in the comments. Could you guys talk more about your work in the motocross industry? I currently work for a company out of California. What is that? I can't even read it. It's too far away.
that are big.
Decal side of things, and would love to know more about how you guys worked with the industry. Thanks. I grew up riding moto. I think Dan the same.
Yeah.
So when I first started working with Dan, I was pretty hyped because he was, his background was in, motocross and then skateboarding, which was my 2 favorite things. So, moto it's a really fun industry, totally different. It has a different look. It's not the traditional badges and all this kind of spot graphics you see nowadays on Instagram. It's totally different. Full bleed outfits. It looks crazy. It's fun. Even the decals, it's all like futuristic and
Loud.
super loud.
Yeah, it's cool. It's that was one of the things that we kind of got to start in the moto and skate, like Dustin said. Being from California and everything, that was just all right there in our backyard.
Yep.
And then when I was working at DC Shoes, they had a bunch of riders, McGrath and Emig and these guys. And I ended up hooking up with Shift at some point through DC. And then when starting the studio, then we started working with Shift and we were doing ads and helmets and gear and catalogs and everything. So the cool thing about the moto industry is you can do like there is this need from A to Z, from a helmet design to the gear to the cut and sew, pants and jerseys, all the way to the ad, to the websites, to the stickers, to the apparel. So it's like this full gamut, for every company.
It's a big market.
Yeah, which is cool,
And it's fun for us when we get a shirt we design that gets sent back to us. It's pretty fun. But when you get a full like dye sublimated with the TPR badges and everything like that, it's even better, And then you get a helmet that you designed. Like designing a helmet is the hardest thing ever because it's like a bubble, a sphere. We got a bunch up there.
We'll put a couple.
Super challenging because you do one side that's flat and they approve it. Well, now you have to design the whole dome. Where did that line I put comes onto this side? How does that work? But getting that final piece is, very rewarding. So. Yeah.
It's the same with the jersey designs, like doing the back of the jerseys. Oh my gosh, like it's a total mind.
Something wraps the sleeve, and it goes to the back where it's a start and
so
stop.
Hard. It's like, what? You got to really think about it.
Yeah, if you have any angular lines, it's going to wrap around the other side and make it look like that barbershop style that's like spinning.
Go up,
So it's super confusing.
Yeah.
It's like a Rubik's Cube almost.
Yeah.
So haven't we been doing it lately where we'll just design the front and get it approved by the client and then we'll design the back after they...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it was a lot of work in the beginning when we were just doing both sides first.
So this is kind of a quick, you see this is example of some of this. So back in the day, we used to do, like I said, we would do the helmet and then we would do the gear. And then we would do the ads for Shift, and then this would all transfer into the catalog that we'd build. So this is where it's like this whole A to Z thing,
Yeah.
So you start with like the helmet and the gear, and you're like, okay, it turned out dope. They make that, and then they shoot the ad, lay out the ad, and then you build the catalog, So.
And the cool part about this piece is Dan did this gear maybe I don't know, 10 years ago ish. And then maybe 7 years ago, this is Josh Grant in the photo. He was in our office for a different project. And he was like, oh my gosh, is that me? And framed in your thing. We're like, hell yeah, it is, dude. And he's like, let me sign that.
Yeah.
And his wife's in it too. She signed it. So
Yep, she's the model.
yeah, just kind of small world, you know, all tied back in together. So
Yeah. And then we ended up doing a logo for his apparel company and doing all the graphics.
Hilton.
Yeah, so yeah. The moto stuff goes way back.
yeah,
We do a little bit now with Climb and Polaris.
a little bit different of a market, but it's still fun to
still
do.
kind of the same idea. And yep.
Still fun to do the gear and the helmets and all that. But
Yeah, we can put some of those images up on the thing.
I'd love
Just the apparel, it's like a different vibe. You know, you do like a T layout instead of just the hit.
Yeah,
on the
spot
T,
hit.
You know? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like totally something different.
I'd love to get some Fox stuff. We got to just put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
What's up, Fox?
Yeah.
Come through.
Box would be
Your
great.
gear's looking good, but if you want it to look even better,
Yeah, Fox
Holler.
is the Nike of
Yeah,
moto. So,
totally.
Yeah.
Matt Russo, make the book. 8th ply, we'll buy, or release a PDF version for all of us skate nerds.
we need to make that happen.
So the book, we talked about this on the skate episode, but this is coming. This year, we're kind of going to focus on the Illustration Mayhem book. So this might, we'll see. This thing it's kind of, I would say it's about 50% done.
So we designed it, but it's not a square format. So we're going to reformat it all to a square, which is going to take Dan or an intern a lot of time. So
And plus, I think half of what's in here kind of needs to come out, and it needs to be updated with newer
There's a lot
work.
of the new stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I think half of this is good. The other 50% needs to be updated with new work. So there's some work to put in, but this thing is like 10 years in the making. So at some point it's going to get made.
it's got to get made.
But I really want to do the Illustration Mayhem.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's first.
Yeah, that's first. So it's coming. Yeah, and I don't want to do a PDF like yet. I want to make physical books. And once the physical book is made and sells out, then I'll do a PDF. But
Yeah.
no, I don't want to go straight to PDF.
Right.
Yeah, we keep it a little more old school like that,
Yeah,
where a lot of our
yeah.
books is just like buy the tangible hard copy.
Yeah.
It's too easy to just buy the PDF and then kind of forget about it, where at least this book, it'll sit on your dresser, your tabletop for, years to come. So
For sure. Chris Johnson. So thank you for this video. It made me realize I have to step up my portfolio presentation game. So he's referring to the portfolio episode video. Yeah, which is cool. That's cool that you say that. And I think it was good to show, that people did send physical portfolios. And that was my whole point of that video was like, people put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to show, people what these other designers are doing, and that you can go to this level to get a job and, put a physical portfolio together. It doesn't have to be just digital.
I've been seeing comments that everyone's like, do a video about the digital ones. And it's like, no. That we're doing a video for the physical portfolios is because they went above and beyond, had it printed, shipped it here.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy kind of to make a PDF, but to make a physical thing, send it here. It's like
extra mile.
they earned the video, so sorry to all the PDF people out there.
Yeah. And if we did a PDF one, then, we would have to like pick and choose whose we're going to show.
For sure.
Basically, this one was like every physical portfolio we showed,
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Robin Alfred, really cool critiques, awesome portfolios, and love what you guys do. But I was disappointed that all those submissions you didn't choose to profile any portfolios submitted by women. Well, we kind of just talked about that.
We didn't receive any.
Yeah, we highlighted every single physical portfolio we got. So sorry, Robin. We would have. You should have sent yours because we would have loved to have critiqued it on video. But
For sure.
I don't know. Yeah, we need some more ladies sending some
do.
portfolios over.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I even think in the digital version we maybe got 2. I could be wrong.
No, I mean we got like, I don't know, close to 350, and there was probably about 10.
Okay.
I would say.
Yep.
8 or 10.
Totally.
From women,
Yep.
So it's tough, and I get it because our work, kind of leans obviously, in the other direction, but we're totally open to
If the work's there.
Yeah, the work's there.
Totally.
Heck
It,
Yeah, of course. Well, we got a big one there.
Luke B. Thank you for the content, guys. I've been eating it up. One thing I'd love to learn more about is how do you initiate these kinds of partnerships with your clients? For example, when do you start the conversation? From following your work, it looks like a great way to create reoccurring clients while also building a brand.
So I think this is referring to the Scout episode.
Like the partnership.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my thought on that is don't initiate really anything until you do good work for them. You know, if you get hired you have a new client, they hire you to do a job. I wouldn't talk about any kind of like, say, trade or partnership or anything like that until either the project is close to done or done and they're super stoked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you kick that off too early and then they're a bit disappointed in the work, you know, then it could get a little weird.
You're not getting the trade there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not going to work out. So
You want the work to be the thing that defines the trade.
and they should want to, you know, the work was so good. They're so stoked. They want to continue working with you. Maybe they don't have another design project right away, you know, so you're like, well, hey, can we help, you know, can I help design the inside of your store or whatever? So,
I feel like any of these partnerships are kind of just come naturally. You know, it's
They
like
do,
nothing
yeah.
that's forced. It's all natural. It's something that in a little bit of time you kind of become friends.
Yeah.
They need more stuff, and then they have a service that we need. You know, maybe they make neon signs, so it's like, oh well, we love what you do. Oh, you love what we do. Well, hey, let's try to trade here. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of present itself almost.
yeah, for sure. Definitely. Our mutt.
Our mutt.
Our mutt.
That's awesome. That's the dude's name on the urinal on Duchamp's urinal. He's
is it?
art piece?
Yeah. What was that? 1918.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
shit.
the first,
Dadaism.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to college.
Yeah. Art history, baby.
Would be dope to see a day in the life of each team member and how they stay inspired. It would be cool to do, you know, like a day in the life of each, you know, person and
Totally.
kind of follow them. I mean, it would be cool to follow them, you know.
The whole way.
Yeah, coffee in the morning to, you know, to the drive home type of thing.
I mean, so for me, it says how do they stay inspired?
Yeah.
For me, it's just some good music, good headphones, and just start cranking. You know, it's like
Yeah.
just default to some song you love, pop it in, put that thing as loud as you can handle it, and it'll start flowing.
That's right.
How about you, Jordan?
Honestly, I like getting like a little bit up early and just like doing something that isn't related to my like daily task. Like, for example, I might get up an hour early and like make some music just to, get the blood flowing, wake myself up, and then have like a chance to do something for myself before I get into the work for somebody else. And so like I can bring a new little bit of energy. It wakes me up a little bit, and that kind of just gets you going,
That's like a good warm up.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
That's I wake up right on the minute and get going.
Roll out
That's
of bed.
cool that you do the hour early. It's
into the
props,
car.
Yeah. I wish I had that willpower.
Right. All right. Well, shit, that was it. That was a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys. Chime or ring bell.
Hit the bell,
or,
subscribe, comment.
Chop the bell with the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it ring, baby.
Yeah, do that whole deal. Like we said, we'll probably dive back into this whole thing, answer questions again when we hit episode 20.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Keep it coming.
Yeah.